I'm Lauren from Legends of S.H.I.E.L.D., a podcast member of the GonnaGeek network, just like the one you're listening to now. The opinions expressed are those of each individual. Check out all the other podcasts at GonnaGeekNetwork.com and get ready because geekiness begins in 3, 2, 1.
You're listening to Crimson Comet, a fan podcast about the TV show dedicated to the Scarlet Speedster himself, CW's The Flash. Welcome to episode 16 of Crimson Comet. This week we'll be discussing The Flash Season 1, Episode 13, Nuclear Man. I'm your host, Haley, a.k.a. Awesome Engineering Girl.
I'm John, a.k.a. Lobster.
And I'm Will, a.k.a. Rum Daddy.
And this week we are joined by a very special guest, Adam. Welcome, Adam.
Hey, everyone.
Hey, Adam. I'm so glad you finally made it into the cave here with us.
And we are also joined by not-so-special guest, Jay.
Hey, I've been kidnapped from Starling City. Somebody please call the police.
Shut up.
I'm not supposed to be here.
Shut.
The police force in Starling City is understaffed, so you're stuck.
Yeah, that must have been a long trip in the trunk, like 600 miles or whatever they said.
Jay, we've got Jay here. See, nobody cares.
Nobody cares. Hey, but you know what? At least he's on a podcast where people actually listen to. Oh, no.
Trash talking.
Ouch. Sick burn.
You guys just wait until I get back to Starling.
It comes from a place of love.
Wait, don't they think you're dead, though, right now, because you're gone?
Yeah, but he'll get better. It'll be fine.
He'll get better, yeah.
But I got better.
And it seems like soon they're going to have more room spent on glass cases than actual floor space.
Valid point, yeah.
More time wasted dressing those stupid mannequins.
They can't just put their outfits on hangers. They have to put them on a mannequin. So every time they get dressed, they have to undress the mannequin, dress themselves, take their jackets off, put it back on the mannequin.
And you know, that every time that I go to put my costume on, the first thing I do is grab my bow, because that is not going to impede me putting my costume on at all.
It's so much easier to get your arms through the sleeves while holding the bow.
Exactly.
Especially those tight leather pants. Holding the bow in one hand and jumping around, holding your pants in the other hand. Yep. It's going to work out really well.
I'm almost as effective as Laurel fighting.
Oh.
Seriously, is she getting worse as the show goes on?
She is getting worse.
Is that your daddy's nightstick?
That got creepy.
I'm just saying, it's totally a police baton that she was using.
Well, yeah, but that was some phrasing, if ever there was.
It's because you had two blondes in black cat suits, fighting each other. You had to have some way to differentiate them.
How did they keep the wigs on?
Okay, the wigs are becoming a thing that we are all really... I mean, here's the thing. Flash has an amazing budget for ASCAP royalties for current pop songs to use within the course of the show, but they can't put $5 together to pay for a decent wig on anyone.
Or at least any Amell.
No, well, Canary's wig is pretty bad too. It looks like somebody took a piece of straw and slapped it on her head.
It's supposed to be a wig, though. I mean, you'd think that they would, the money that they saved in shirts for the Amells, they'd be able to put towards wigs.
Valid point.
Although I did watch with a friend of mine, he goes, "What the hell? His wig looks like it came off of an old Chucky doll."
I think that was being generous.
Chucky had better hair.
Yeah. Well, he was a ginger,
and more realistic facial expressions. Is it just me, or is Robbie Amell a really terrible actor?
Well, I wasn't sure if this episode he wasn't trying to act like Victor Garber.
That's the thing. When you have an actor trying to act like somebody else acting like their character, it never works out properly.
No, it works when you have a good actor doing it, but it doesn't work when you have a bad actor doing it.
When you have a bad actor who's trying to act like a decent actor being a douchey character, it all falls apart in the mix.
But he's so pretty.
He's pretty. He's very pretty. I'll give you that. I was looking up pictures of both him and his cousin next to each other and going, can't put my finger on it. Something about them looks exactly alike.
They have the same eyes and the same jawline.
It's their jawline is exactly the same. That's what it is.
It's the nipples, isn't it?
We need a side-by-side comparison.
Wait, Will's opening up Photoshop right now. Hang on.
Move this nipple over here. And
I'll be back in 20 minutes, guys.
It's like that new photo app. You can actually measure distance. Check the nipple ratio.
The kid doing the bike ramp jump, and it's like, it's 25 feet. The nipple ratio, exactly. What's the nipple ratio to each other? All right, so let's talk about this week's show.
Wait, did we do the contact information yet?
No,
Okay, let's do the
we
contact.
haven't even
information.
gotten that far.
Okay. If you'd like to get in contact with us, you can find all of our information on our website, crimsoncometpodcast.com. You can find us on Twitter at Crimson Podcasts, Facebook, Crimson Comet Podcast. You can leave us a voicemail, 423-FLASH-53. That's 423-352-7453. And we have forums available at forums.GonnaGeek.com, or you can search GonnaGeek on the tapatalk app.
Tapatalk.
All right, so I know I jumped ahead. I wanted to talk about the show, but
That's
we've
fine.
got news and we got all this stuff that we need to talk about. So let's get through that really quick.
Okay, so a little bit of feedback on the episode from, I don't know, I guess it went out like 4 days ago, but 2 weeks ago. Coach on Twitter agreed with me that Korra is awesome. He watches Avatar The Last Airbender and Legend of Korra both, and he says that Will and Lobster are lame for not watching them. Yep.
I know Will's lame. I don't know.
I used to love Coach because he gave us a great review on iTunes, but now I just like him.
Well, that lame thing, I can't remember if he said that or I said that, but one of us definitely called you guys lame.
I mean, they definitely are lame. I don't know about the reasoning behind it.
I
but,
mean,
you know.
Will certainly is. I don't think I
Yeah.
am.
What? Now I'm the punching bag?
Jonathan Lamers.
What the shit, Archer? Hey, all we said was that neither one of us can get into anime.
Well, really, the show isn't anime. It's animation. I mean, it's a kid show on Nickelodeon. It's an American
anime
show.
style, though. There's a lot of people that have a problem with the style of anime. My wife is one of those people that, you know, it's not necessarily the content or even the way that the story goes. It is the style of animation that some people just cannot get past. So I have to give them a pass on this. They're still lame, but
Okay.
yeah, there's
We'll find
plenty of
other
other.
So
reasons
you're
to
calling
call
your
him.
wife lame?
No, I'm calling you and John lame.
Well, you just said your wife can't get past
No.
it, and that you're
No,
calling all people
I
can't get
said-
past
no.
it lame.
I
No, he
that's
said
why-
there are other reasons why you're lame.
Oh, right.
Keep
All
up.
right. I just
Yeah,
want to get you in trouble. Catherine, you are listening to this, right?
She doesn't listen to any podcast I'm on. Are you kidding?
Oh, I'll make sure she listens to this
She
one.
usually listens, but she won't listen this week because Jay's on.
Oh, no, I'll make sure she listens.
So we watched Flash. 3.48 million other people watched along with us this week. And I believe that's one of the better numbers the show has had in recent history.
I think it says here that it's the best since the crossover episode.
Well, of course.
Nice.
Because they ended last week with Gorilla Grodd, and everybody was like, ooh, it's going to happen with Gorilla Grodd! And there wasn't even a mention of him this week.
I'm okay with that. I don't think they should do anything other than that level of stuff with him until season 2.
I'm with you, Adam.
I want gorilla mind control powers now. Damn
I
it!
kind of want it to be everything that has happened so far was caused by Grodd, mind controlling everybody.
Everything that has
That would be
happened up to
awesome.
this point has been a hallucination that Ollie has gone through during his death row.
No. You're not going to St. Elsewhere us with this one.
I was waiting for that to happen all during this week's Arrow, though, for him to be like, oh, it was all a dream.
Yeah, that's actually one of the theories going around right now is that everything that has happened this season has been a hallucination from back in like the first episode or two that he got dosed with vertigo.
Okay, screw St. Elsewhere. That's very Dallas, and no, that's not going to happen. If it does, I'm out. You guys are going to have to find another
I had
host.
the weirdest dream. I slept for 3 seasons.
I know that I'm the old man here, but are y'all aware that they did that on Dallas, where they had like a whole bunch of seasons where they suddenly had to reboot the whole show? And
I thought it was just one season.
Was it one season?
I don't know. I mean, I've only
Maybe.
heard about it. I never watched it
Yeah, and it was
because I'm not
Bobby
old.
coming out of the shower, and he's like, I had a dream, and yeah, it was crap.
Yep.
Uh-oh,
Stupid.
look out. Jay found the black fez. Jay is wearing the black fez now.
Does that mean he's like the evil doctor?
Pretty much.
Well, I've almost got the goatee, so yeah, it could be.
He found the black fez. And
So
went
does that make him Dr. Evil?
out. You owe me $1,000.
$1 billion.
Oh,
He can't put the headphone on
I
with.
can't wear the headphones. I can either podcast or I can wear the fez. It's your. No. All right, I'm out.
No.
Aw.
When the podcast is done, you're going to wear the fez for the rest of the evening.
Put the fez on the
That's
dog. It'll be fine. So news this week.
Yes, news.
We're not distracted at all. No.
No, not at all.
This train is right on the tracks.
It's just the bridge isn't finished yet.
We're working on it. Emily Kinney is playing Bug-Eyed Bandit on The Flash.
I think that's going to be one of the ones that Caitlin names instead of Cisco.
How about the Bug-Eyed Bandit? You guys wouldn't let me have Rainbow Raiders, so let me have this one.
She got Peekaboo.
Oh, it's so no. Peekaboo is not Peekaboo. We already discussed it. Peekaboo is poof.
But she is going to be playing the anti-Felicity.
What?
Really?
This character has traditionally been male in the comics. They made her a woman for the TV show. And Felicity and Brie Larvin is her character's name, are going to be, what did it say? Let me get the exact words because it was fantastic. The two women engage in a hacker battle for the Flash's life.
Oh, God.
Oh,
So they're both just going to be slamming their forearms against a keyboard.
Does she pick up a guitar and sing?
I don't know. They haven't said yet. That would be cool, though.
Felicity will probably use her Windows tablet instead.
Yeah.
No, they haven't used that as much this season.
No, there'll be Windows versus Mac. Beth will have an iPad, and Felicity will have her Windows tablet.
No, Felicity's been using her Surface, but it's just been an iPad stand at this point.
Oh.
Just like everybody else. For those of you that don't know, Emily Kinney played Beth in The Walking Dead.
Played. Spoiler!
What? She just went to live on a farm in the country. It's fine.
With Herschel, right? With her dad,
Yeah.
Herschel.
Yep, they went back to the farm.
They went back to the farm. Everything's just fine.
I actually had a pet that we gave to friends who lived on a farm because he kept spraying in the house and whatnot. And so we had a pet that actually went to live on a farm, and nobody fucking believes me when I tell them the story.
It's like that episode of Friends where Ross is like, you know what's weird? Because we actually had a dog that went to live on a farm in the country.
No,
No.
you did.
I know. I'm waiting for the days when my kids come up to me and they're like, "You told us that." No, I'm serious. He really is.
The next item isn't really news, but it's a video clip of the new animated movie that's coming out, Justice League versus Bizarro League. And in it, we get to see Lego Gorilla Grodd versus Lego Batman. And, it's fantastic.
Splooge.
All right. Has anyone actually played Lego Batman 3?
No.
No, I played 2, but...
All right. 3 is hilarious because at this point, they understand that you have fans of the series and things like that, and they do not take themselves seriously at all. And it is brilliant, and I love it. And especially like the Arrow DLC is...
Yeah, I heard about that one.
Oh my God. It is well worth it. If you have the chance to play the game, it is hilarious.
Do I have to buy the disc, or can I download it for PS4?
You can download it.
Done deal. I'm so going to download that one. You know why? Because everything is awesome. Sorry. I'll go sit in the corner now.
And on that note, which was very not awesome.
So you want to talk about the episode?
Yes, there was an episode, Nuclear Man. We started talking about it earlier, and then you threw us off the rails.
No, I put you back on the rails.
You put us back on the rails because we went way off the rails to talk about.
We bounced around the rails for a little bit. I mean, there was some progress.
There were rails.
I remember seeing them at some point. I don't know.
It's more like those bumper rails at the bowling alley.
With the kind of rails people did in the 80s. Those are different rails.
So this episode.
Yes.
Barry's going to go on a date.
About time.
Uptown Funk gonna funk you up.
That was one of my notes. That the music budget is like way up because they can afford music by Bruno Mars and Mark Ronson. So
the CW always carves out a chunk of cash for music, and I think it comes from the wig budget.
It does, yeah.
It must, yeah.
Jesus. They're like, okay, you have to donate your hair, but we're gonna have really good music.
It's gonna sound awesome. You're gonna look horrible, but for the deaf people out there, they're gonna love it.
Yeah, we scalped the hobo. Put this on, but
no. Do you think if you're like the intern, if you get the internship at CW, they're like, okay, now we got to shave your head to make the wigs.
I got an internship? What? Oh, that's the bad news.
They go all like G.I. Jane on them and shave their heads.
So on his date, Barry gets a phone call from Cisco. And Cisco was like, fine, when you see in the news that a little old lady got robbed last night.
That was great. He runs off. No old lady.
That was hysterical.
Yeah, that worked.
And they didn't need any more explanation than that either. You just see him zoom off, no old lady, and then he's back. And it was perfect.
He probably did stop the robbery while he was there, but...
Okay, I got a question to ask all of you. I'm watching these scenes between Barry and Linda Park. There's no chemistry between them at all.
Well, no.
I mean, am I the only one that goes, I really don't care because there's no chemistry?
I don't care because I know they're not going to end up together anyways, so whatever.
It's all just to make Iris jealous.
Yeah, maybe only a little less chemistry than he has with Iris, though, honestly.
He has way more chemistry with Iris than he does with Caitlin, and they keep trying to make that a thing, too.
Let's be honest. The most chemistry he has is with Joe, though.
Well, yeah.
Of the main cast, yeah.
Well, and with Felicity.
Yeah, Felicity was the other person.
But everybody has chemistry with Felicity.
Everybody has chemistry with Joe.
Well, yeah. Including Sherry.
Hey.
Chase Masterson, you mean?
I saw her name in the opening credits, and I was like, really? Because she doesn't do much screen acting. She does a lot of voiceover stuff.
So, Will, what would Grandma Rum Daddy think of Sherry?
Oh, Lord. I'm going to have to work on that one. I'll tell you. She's that one. She's a floozy.
Okay.
Yeah, she's kind of a floozy, that one.
I mean, she's a divorcee who just hangs around in her 90s, waiting for the doorbell to ring. And
well, what else are you supposed to do?
No, I love that she had a costume change in the middle of it all.
Yeah,
she changed from her nightgown to her cocktail dress.
She needed to slip into something more uncomfortable
in the middle of the afternoon.
Well, she did just wake up.
I was perfectly okay with it, you know.
I love that he sent her away to go and see a movie.
Yeah.
She is a hot mess, though.
Yeah, operative word being hot.
Well, hey, I wouldn't judge.
Well,
I wouldn't judge.
I do. This is what my people do. We judge.
Okay, but we skipped over the post-date conversation between Cisco and Barry. And they warned him about moving too fast.
That was funny.
That is good advice. All the dead puppies in baseball that you can think of will not stop you.
I'm thinking that maybe I didn't quite understand what they were talking about, and they thought they were being...
Well,
something along the lines of the whole Superman Lois Lane thing.
Well, it was more the they were being premature.
Premature evacuation
of
his balls.
Yeah.
It was like everybody was dancing around trying not to say it, and then it just went straight in the toilet.
Welcome to Crimson Comet.
Did we say this was not suitable for work?
Listen, we have to do bodily functions.
We have set a certain standard on this show, okay?
And it's very low. I mean, you need a shovel for the to get as low as we get on this show.
Or like a backhoe.
Because we are not Starling Tribune.
Ironically, the explicit cast is talking about the more family-friendly of the two superhero shows, and the family-friendly podcast is talking about the dark and brooding. I think we crossed the stream somewhere here.
Okay,
that's
so
a whole other topic.
This is very important because his superpowers have implications.
Yes, they warned him about moving too fast, and then on the second date, he is moving too fast, and Linda is enjoying it.
Oh well, yes. I mean. It's somebody turned the rabbit on. That's what happened.
He can vibrate
I
every
believe
part of
I
his
called
body.
this in like episode 3 of the show.
You did.
I did. By the way, let me just say that there's a lot of things that went down in this episode that we called way back when that we called were going to happen, and that's one of them.
Yep.
Like that's one of them, and we also said a couple of podcasts ago that they were going to find an excuse for Robbie Amells to show up and end up over at Star Labs and get a complete makeover and cut his hair so he could lose the wig.
They didn't even find an excuse for him to get there. It was just like, hey, look, he's here and his hair's cut.
Yeah, we cleaned him up.
Oh, look, somebody showered him. That's great.
Yeah, though the fire didn't help with the hair at all.
And once again, we covered this topic a long time ago. Why doesn't his clothes catch on fire? I don't get it.
Because it's a family show. That's why.
Well, he's wearing different clothes now, so it's not just the fact that they're the clothes he was wearing when the accident happened.
Those aren't even the clothes he was wearing when the accident happened.
Well,
those are the clothes he stole off of a hobo.
He was wearing different clothes. Now they're about 5 states away.
Yeah.
Now, let's talk about his acting.
What acting?
He is trying to do a Victor Garber impression, and failing miserably.
Do you know who does a really good Victor Garber?
Victor Garber.
Victor Garber.
Exactly.
Yeah, it sounded
Probably
more like
Bill
a bad
Hader, too.
Batman voice to me.
Yeah.
But
Especially in the underpass.
to be honest, though, I have to give Robbie Amell a pass for at least a little while, because if you go back to like season 1 of Arrow, Stephen Amell was right about in that range. He was horrible back in the day.
No, he really was.
And he's actually stepped it up quite a bit. So let's...
Okay, he's better. He's much better, but he's like doing that whole like Dean Winchester school of acting where brood.
Well,
it's like brood.
I'm not
when you look like Stephen Amell, that's all you need.
Yeah,
I'm good with that.
You give the pouty face or something, and you're set. But I'm not saying he's going to win an Emmy, but he's definitely improved. So I got to give Robbie a little bit of time on this one.
As long as we could see him doing the ladder again, I'm good.
Yeah,
shirtless, of course, right?
Right.
Is there another way to do it?
Oh, obviously,
I
not.
haven't heard of it. No.
You know, and I'm with Felicity. I have a type. Well, everybody has a type. Come on, be honest. Anyway, we'll move on.
I think Barry has a type.
Barry, well, what would Barry's type be?
Female.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
A pulse.
A pulse. Anyone that pays attention to him. Exactly.
I'm guessing dark-haired, almond-eyed, brown-skinned.
Except for Felicity.
Journalists. Well, that's why they decided it couldn't work. 'Cause he didn't have enough abs, and
No, because he could do the salmon ladder. Remember?
the lightning gave him abs.
Yeah.
Is that all it takes?
All it takes.
Oh,
Or you get a stutter.
I'm just going to hold on to pieces of metal and stand out in the middle of lightning storm.
I was going to say, I just figured out a way to make a lot of money.
Lose 20 pounds in the simple step-by-step process.
Yep.
Oh, by the way, I just found out that my email got hacked and people are getting emails from me saying lose 20 pounds.
Oh, I thought you were just being bitchy.
He was calling everybody out.
I was.
Sure, your email got hacked. Yeah.
These are all the people.
You
I
know
Wouldn't that
me.
be
That's
great?
who
Just
I
send
am.
a bunch of dickish emails out to all
Yeah.
your friends, and then the next day be like, "Oh, sorry guys, I got hacked."
Sorry, my email got hacked.
All right, hang on. Let me put this in my calendar. I have a plan now.
Okay, so Victor Garber is married to this lovely blonde woman. He meets Flash on the train, and he just comes across as a really bitchy old queen. Am I the only one?
Well, he does have like a nuclear bomb in his under his seat. So
No, he has a tiny little son.
It's a tiny little son. What was that?
yeah, no. When I saw him trip at Star Labs, though, I was like, "You had that in your purse."
What's a box gonna do?
You had that in your purse.
Gonna put it in a box.
What's a box gonna do?
All right, so Cisco and Joe go over to the house, right? And they set up, they're looking to try and figure everything out. And they get the mirror with the silver nitrate in the back, which for the first time, I'm actually thinking there is actual science base in that. That actually is true. The back of the mirrors really do have silver nitrate. Silver nitrate was used to take pictures way back in the old days. But when he sets up the projection that's 3D,
The 3D hologram machine.
and it's like, and I'm like, really? And it's all like they stepped onto Star Trek and they were in the holograms and stuff. I'm like, really?
I was watching this.
How do you get a picture of the back of her head?
I was watching this with my 12-year-old, and while we're in this scene, he's like, "How is that possible?" And I just looked at him and I quoted Batman exactly. I'm like, if I had a week, I couldn't explain all of the reasons why this wouldn't work.
It'll make more sense when you're old enough to drink.
Which, lucky for us, we are.
Yeah, and wouldn't any thunderstorms after that have,
Also got some
overexposed?
pictures in there.
Or anytime somebody turns on and off a light.
Or an actual camera flash.
Guys, science.
Well, at least they started from a basis of this could possibly happen at some point, which is a better thing than we've gotten thus far.
It's a good thing that the blood on the wall was super glowy. Otherwise, they might not have seen it in their hazy hologram.
How old is the blood on the wall? 17 years or so? 15 years? And he pulls back the wallpaper, and the blood is only on the wall. None of it adhered to the wallpaper. And by the way, if you've ever had to take off
wallpaper,
the wallpaper,
it does come off like that.
It does not come off that easy.
He should have pulled off half a chunk of sheetrock with that.
Basically,
Exactly.
Or a tiny little strip of the wallpaper.
Oh, and by the way, the blood, was still red.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that was the weird part.
Yeah, nobody at any point tried to clean some of the blood off of the wall before putting up new wallpaper. No.
Let's just put wallpaper over the blood.
Yeah.
That's why it came off so well. That's the secret.
So coat your walls in blood before you put up the wallpaper so you can take it off easily.
Yeah.
That is the key.
There's a slight incantation you have to recite in there somewhere, but don't worry about the glowing green creature that climbs out of your vents. It's perfectly normal.
Perfectly natural.
Yeah, you might just have the fart guy in your basement.
No, Fartman's trapped in the pipeline. It's got him under control.
He's the only one that's trapped.
Know.
But yeah.
No, wait. Who is trapped underneath Star right now? We got to keep a tally on this. It's Fartman
and Peekaboo.
Puff. No, Poof. We called her Poof.
You called her Poof.
I call her Poof because she poofs in and out. So Fartman and Poof.
So it only holds smoke-based villains.
Rainbow Raider is still down there.
Yeah, that's who we're talking. Wait, is Rainbow Raider still down there?
Yeah, we never saw him again after the crossover episode.
Oh, so we've been wrong. We thought there were only two people. I guess there's three.
Wow.
Well, I just listened to your podcast from 2 episodes ago, so I thought of it a little bit after that.
You know why Fartman is the only villain that we see in there? Because they can pay the CGI guys to put him in there real quick, and they don't actually have to pay an actor.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, and he's on Gotham.
Yeah.
Sort of like how in the animated shows they can include other random heroes pretty easily as long as they don't talk.
Okay, so the blood they find, there's 2 types. A positive and AB negative.
Okay, so we find out that one of them, of course, is
berries.
Berry, but not just, kid berry. Adult berry.
Right.
Because there's that magic thing in your blood that makes you tell how old you are.
No, proteins, dude. Proteins.
Here's a question that I have. So the nuclear explosion, we see Barry running with Caitlin. Caitlin covers her eyes finally. Is this what triggers the quantum change that makes him go back in time?
Okay, I don't know.
I think we still have a couple episodes before the actual time travel episode.
So that's episode 15, so we've got one more.
Right, so he's outrunning the explosion, but who knows how fast radiation travels?
Right.
Right? Speed of light, which I do not think Barry is outrunning at this point. So they are both being exposed to massive amounts of radiation, which you could technobabble him away like, oh, he's got his super healing factor and he's already exposed to blah, 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 blah.
But he's got the Speed Force protecting Caitlin as well. So
yeah, well, and I forget if it was you guys or another podcast I listened to that mentioned it.
Get off our show.
Another podcast?
Another podcast?
Das
Get out!
Boot.
But in the Rogues episode where Caitlin got kidnapped, she touched her car right after Captain Cold froze it, and she didn't seem to be hurt by that at all. So maybe she has
that was not us, because I do not remember that. But interesting point.
So she might have something that just hasn't fully manifested yet.
Which we have speculated that both Cisco and Caitlin were exposed to something during the particle accelerator explosion, and that they were going to be triggered later by something else. So this could be what triggers her abilities.
Yeah, well, I had thought that it might be something to do with the technology behind the cold gun, which, might have been really handy in at least slowing down Firestorm's reaction if they had fixed it.
That sounds an awful lot like logical thinking. We can't have any of that.
Does Firestorm, is he able to hit absolute hot or just when he takes his shirt off?
Good question.
All right.
Yeah, but going back to the blood, I did think that Cisco might compare it to Wells's blood after how callous he was about killing Ronnie.
Possibly. Okay, so the quantum splicer. Okay, quantum, because that sounds super science-y.
Right.
And we can't just say, magnets or radiation anymore.
Right.
Splicer.
It's no longer magnets and transistors, yeah.
Right. Splicer means to put things together.
Yeah.
Which is the opposite of what they are trying to do.
Well, they don't know that.
You act like these guys are professional scientists. Come on.
Right.
Yeah, though I did like that it made the Firestorm costume symbol.
Right. Like, that's not going to stick around.
When I saw the pictures, I thought that might have been some kind of stabilizer to postpone
Help
the
him,
reaction.
control his powers.
Oh, well, that's what it's going to turn out to be.
Yeah, and maybe keep him from, flaming on.
I love
They
that.
had
I
to.
love
They
that.
had
I'm like, talk about crossing the streams.
Yeah.
What, are they going to not do it?
The little homage to the Firestorm costume, though, is something I like to refer to as fan wank.
Well, yeah, that is what is happening.
I'm cool with that.
As one of the
Okay.
fans being wanked.
Go
Okay, so what else happens this episode?
Well, Firestorm killed Dr. Lee.
Oh, yeah,
What's
that
that?
guy. He totally died. Bummer.
No, he didn't. He's okay, right?
Oh, is he
We
okay?
don't know. We don't know.
I don't know. I just remember
they
him
just
getting
said he
rolled
had
out on
some-
a gurney.
Severe
Yeah, he must
burns.
have left the Stargate program at some point. So.
Barry goes to try and make up with Linda
Oh, please.
by eating a really, really hot pepper.
Okay, wait. I have a problem with this scene.
Yes.
There's a big problem with this scene because I feel like they shoehorned that scene in the middle of the storytelling of the entire episode because it does not make sense
Wait,
to
so
go.
you're-
Okay, you know when Barry goes back to the overly
Swank.
swank newspaper office
Oh.
and he goes to make up with this chick and
Mhm.
he's like, I'm going to eat a pepper if you don't talk to me. That happens right in the middle of the disaster that's going on back at Star Labs.
So,
Right.
so what you're saying is that the CW shoehorned a forced
A
love story into their story. I'm
Never
shocked and
happened.
amazed.
Flabbergasted.
I know you. I know. I could see the look on your face. You're just beyond control because it just felt so bad because supposedly back at Star Labs, all this shit's going down. You know, he's about to go nuclear in 2 hours. We got to figure this out and try and figure out a way to put this gadget on him and save the world and everything. And in the middle of all this, Barry's just going to go to the newspaper office
And eat a really hot pepper.
and eat a really hot pepper
Okay,
just to win
and-
back this girl.
Who the hell has a carton of milk at their desk? Like,
I
Who
thought
drinks
that-
milk anymore?
fuck.
Ugh. And who wants to kiss someone who just ate a hot pepper?
That's
and then
exactly what I
big
thought
whole
too. As
milk?
soon as she kissed
No,
him, I was like,
Oh.
Ate
"Your
the
lips
pepper,
should be on fire."
puked it on the floor, and then swigged some milk.
Yeah, did
And then-
he puke it?
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
That looked
I
like
think he
puking.
spat it
That's
out.
As someone who has on a bet eaten one of the little peppercini things from the Papa John's pizza and then immediately wound up vomiting, yes, he threw up. There is no other reaction to eating that much of a
Wait a
ghost
minute,
pepper.
stop right here. One of the mini peppercino things from a Papa John's pizza had that effect on you. Those things aren't even hot.
Have
They're
you
just
seen
a
how
little
white Jay
spicy.
is?
Yeah, I can see it right now. Those things are like mildly spicy. They're not even hot. And one of those things made you throw up. Jeez.
Okay, I was 15 at the time, and I had not yet lived in Texas, so I was not trained. I am now a professional. Do not try this at home.
Okay, back to what we were talking about. Yeah, there was no way for him to just stop what he was doing, go over there, try and win back this girl, then go back and try and save everything.
Okay,
So-
well, he was chewing the pepper. Were you waiting for like steam to start coming out of his ears and them to get the whistle sound effect going?
Very cartoon like the slide
Yeah.
whistle. Woo! Yeah.
Well, this
absolutely.
disaster wasn't one he could immediately help with, so I give them a bit of a pass for that.
I don't know. It just like there's the lack of chemistry between the two of them, and the fact that they've tried to shoehorn this into being an almost serious relationship after 2 dates in a single episode.
Not to mention that she came onto him very, very strong.
Well, she is a sports writer. That means she's the jock and he's the nerd. So she came
So
onto him.
she just wants to get to the next base. Is that what you're saying?
She clearly wants to round a few bases.
All she cares about is the score.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Yep, they were up by 2 and then they blew it. Except nothing got blown.
Let's
Yay,
get back.
sports ball.
Let's get back to Starbase. You know, Caitlin had to fit Robbie Amell with this contraption, and I'm like, yeah, just another reason just to have a scene with him with his shirt off.
Yeah.
We need
And I wonder how many takes she took to do that.
No. This has to stay on for 6 hours. Doctor's orders.
Oh wait, can we do that again?
Hold on a second. I think I flubbed my line. We gotta go again.
Cut. I'm sorry, I can't get.
Wait, guys, shouldn't we have like an establishing shot of me attaching all these things to him?
How very Peggy Carter of you.
I haven't seen that this week yet. Shush.
I'm talking about the first Captain America movie where she just has to touch.
Oh yeah,
Well-
that's true.
Instantly.
Yeah, I mean, did you see him?
Well, I would have, and I'm straight.
Oh, but I don't know if you guys know this, but this guy was on the Tomorrow People, Robbie Amell was, and there was another guy on there too. And the two of them would both like have a competition to see which one of them could do more scenes with their shirts off. So they would read through the scripts and be like, okay, so in this scene, I could have my shirt off, right?
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with that at all.
It's why I watched the Tomorrow People all the way through.
You know what? Good for you. Good for you for sticking through
Also,
it.
So
I was
you're
trying
the
to...
one.
Yeah, me and Badger. I was also trying to figure out what they were going to do with that story, and the answer was nothing.
Okay, we're going off the rails here, and last night I happened to catch a little bit of the 100, and, you know, I don't know, they're like way into it now. This looks like a pretty good show. I should have started watching this a while ago.
Is it the 100 or the 100?
I don't know.
I've always heard the 100.
It's the show on after the one that we care about.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's the one that I turn off as soon as I hear the Australian lady say that it's coming up next.
Interesting story. Doctor Who used to be the show that was on before the one that I cared about back in the day. So I saw like
Who?
the last 5 minutes of a bunch of episodes back when it was on right before Battlestar Galactica.
Ah,
True story.
That's right.
BSG. Represent.
Remember
Listening.
back when?
Oh, way back
in the
when.
day.
So
Hey, speaking of old sci-fi shows, do you guys remember Star Trek Deep Space Nine?
Yes, it was my
I
favorite Star
don't.
Trek series. Shut up,
So-
Haley, too young.
On that show, there was an actress who played a Bajoran Dabo girl named Lita.
Who we
She was
mentioned
in
are you
about
about
still
half an
speaking
hour ago.
English? Are you having a stroke?
No. Yes,
Didn't we talk about this earlier?
Yeah.
I
we
did. I just want to bring it up again.
Okay.
I'm like, I know I'm
there's
like
that, yeah.
2-3 cocktails in, but I know we talked about this earlier.
No, we didn't. Shh.
Yeah, so Wells was willing to delay his plan to make that quantum splicer technobabble thing.
There's not going to be a
So-
timetable if Central City goes up in a mushroom cloud.
Yeah, I'm just still not convinced they're bad plans for Barry.
Like I said, I don't know if he's good or bad, but I don't trust him.
I even still think he could be Barry from the future.
I would still buy that. I don't know if that's what they're going to do, but it's a possibility.
But then, if there's two blood types, wouldn't there only be one blood type?
Yeah.
Not if,
no,
not
the
if
other one
he
could
was-
still be somebody else.
Maybe.
But wouldn't Cisco have figured that out? Been like, no, this is adult Barry, and this is really, really adult Barry.
No. I'm saying that the person in the yellow suit could be a completely different Reverse Flash in that
I
yellow
think
suit.
I don't think
yeah, he
it's
could have
Wells.
been in the. Yeah, Wells could have been in the red suit then, and then taken out the.
No, because we already
Reverse
know that
Flash.
Barry's in the red suit.
Yeah, but there could have been a time period where Wells was in a red suit.
True.
Yeah, but like I'm thinking that something happened that disrupted his connection with the Speed Force. So he was when he took out the Reverse Flash, he took the yellow suit to try to boost his powers enough to get back to his time.
Interesting theory. I don't know if I buy it.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I do either, honestly. But
Although I
Throwing that
am
out there.
well, okay. Along those lines, I'm starting to think that the man in the yellow suit is not Wells, but that it's Detective Pretty Boy.
That is a distinct possibility.
maybe
like-
Detective Pretty Boy from the future.
Yeah.
No, that's what I meant.
Yeah,
Detective
so
Pretty Boy
Iris-
from the future.
Iris leaves Detective Pretty Boy for Barry, and then something else happens to turn him into like evil rage Pretty Boy, and he becomes the Reverse Flash.
He goes
Descendants
back to do a
does.
Terminator thing because he hates Barry so much. He decides that he's going to kill Barry's mom, but
To
he
prevent
doesn't
him
go
from
back
ever being born, but he's
Exactly.
really bad at math, but it's okay because he's so pretty.
Exactly. So he doesn't go back far enough.
He's not
Isn't
a
it,
good
though-
detective.
Isn't it one of his descendants, though? Like in the future, Eobard Thawne, who becomes the Reverse Flash, or Professor
Yes.
Zoom. So
Well, yes.
he like passes down stories through the generations about what a dick Barry is. And he like tells his grandkids and his great grandkids.
Yeah, I was dating this
"Man,
really
this-
hot chick, and then
yeah.
this D-bag totally stole
Yeah,
her.
the Flash. And so like his great 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 grandson grows up on these stories and decides that he's going to go back in time and kill
After
him.
generations, it turns into like a Game of Thrones style thing, and they're like, "Wow,
Right.
if we just killed this guy, then all of this would be better."
Yeah, and well, though it is kind of interesting that one of the Reverse Flashes was Eobard Thawne, like you said. Another one was in a wheelchair when he wasn't in the suit, and that one thought he was doing his bad stuff to try to make Wally West at that time a better hero. He thought that he needed to experience a lot of loss in order to become the best hero he could.
Well, because that's how you become a hero, is you wind up losing your parents. It's scientifically proven.
I got a question. In both DC and Marvel, are there any superheroes whose both parents are still alive? Think about it.
Clark Kent.
Clark
No,
Kent?
his parents are dead.
Everyone's dead except for his adopted mom.
No, his adoptive dad is usually still alive, too.
He had a normal life. He had Thanksgiving dinners every year in Kansas. He had a family.
Yeah, but he didn't become Superman until after Dad died.
He shouldn't get to be all broody about, oh, my parents are dead, my whole planet's destroyed, because he didn't know that until he was like an adult. Suck it up, princess.
These people I never knew existed are dead. Oh my god! Tragic backstory is complete.
Angst. Okay, so Firestorm runs away. He goes to the Badlands, which are in South Dakota, which is apparently 30 miles outside of Central City. So,
It's the different Badlands. It's
is
the
it a
worst
different
lands.
Badlands? Okay.
Well,
The not so
that
good lands.
That would sort of fit with the 600 miles from Starling City, which is on the Pacific coast.
Right, but that puts it in the middle of nowhere. Like, there's no major cities, I think, anywhere near the Badlands, except for apparently Central City. I don't get it.
And 30 miles is not very far.
No.
For Mushroom Cloud, you're filling the entire city with radiation, and everyone's going to die within a month anyway.
They're just not going to melt instantly.
Maybe that now that they've got him kind of like showered and shaved, maybe he's a clean bomb.
He's not a dirty bomb anymore.
No, he's a pretty bomb.
But then General Douchebag sees the explosion, and he's like, let's go get Firestorm, because I'm a bad guy.
Wouldn't it have been funny if he said, "Let's go get the Firestorm"?
No, see, that's the thing is like Wells. I'm still on the fence. I'm like I could almost see him being twisted and thinking he's doing everything for the right reasons. And like if he does all of this, then Barry will be the hero that saves the planet and all of this stuff. And he's almost Samuel Jackson's character from Unbreakable, where it's like, yes, I did all of these horrible things so that we could have yes. Whereas,
greater good.
Whereas General Douchebag, you just know that nothing good is going to come of this.
You know why he's General Douchebag? Because he's the Kurgan.
He's the Kurgan.
I just hope he and Waller never meet.
Oh, God.
Oh, that would be awesome. They would get along so well.
That would be really cool.
I feel like I remember them having scenes together in the cartoons. Eiling and Waller.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
And then they would have a baby, and that would be what we call Satan.
It's better to burn out than to fade away. So what we're looking forward to next week is that we finally start getting the time travel story.
And more Grodd.
And more Grodd. Are we getting more Grodd next week?
I don't know. I doubt it.
I don't think we're going to see Grodd for at least a couple weeks.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect to see anything more from him until the end of the season. We might get another teaser, but I don't think they're really going to do anything with him this season.
Yeah, and we're only a month away from Mark Hamill.
Oh, that's right. We still got Mark Hamill coming.
Thank you, Adam.
I forgot about that.
And then the bug-eyed bandit.
Okay, Adam, I have a question for you because you're an aficionado in all this. I have a theory that the Flash that we're watching right now is actually a sequel to the Flash from the 90s, and that Mark Hamill is playing the same character, but now he's going after the Flash's dad.
Or son.
Somewhat plausible. I don't not completely sure about that, but there are definitely, I think I heard about a third person, technically fourth person, but third person playing a character with the same name from the 90s Flash coming up in a few weeks.
No, we already know that because that happened a couple weeks ago, and
the science lady.
The science lady played the same character that she played in the 90s.
Yeah, no, I mean another one.
Yeah, so something's going on here.
Like one of the police officers from the 90s one.
Mm-hmm. See, I'm going to steal Jay's term. I think it's just fan winking.
That's a possibility.
So is fan winking a thing now? Are we using that? Are we going to run
we're putting that in the rotation.
Okay, good. So we got poop jokes, pee jokes, and fan winking. Puns. Being fan in China.
I don't think we had any puns this week, guys.
Oh, God.
So we haven't get on it.
Do it.
Yeah, I did the clean bomb, dirty bomb.
Oh, okay. Good job.
We're
safe, guys.
We are safe from Chinese listeners.
Oh, good.
Ooh, that was a close one, guys.
I know. We almost got away with no puns.
You're all welcome.
So, what did we learn this week, guys?
I learned that eating an insanely hot pepper and vomiting in front of a girl will guarantee you a second date.
I think it's a third date.
Okay, yeah, third date, whatever.
Well, second and a half.
Yeah.
A second chance at a second date.
But that half date was going really well, right up until he blew it.
Well, it's a good thing he didn't, blow the other.
Literally blow.
Yeah. Well, I learned that I'm going to have to think of a lot of dead puppies playing baseball. Or something like that. Whatever works, man.
You're not really a sports fan, are you?
I learned that Dr. Lee left the Stargate program.
I learned that streams can cross. And once you played a Dabo Girl on Star Trek, you can own a home with its own holosuite.
Very clever.
And I learned that moving too fast is not necessarily a bad thing.
That works for me.
It could be a bad thing. It could be a very bad thing.
Friction, no joke, guys.
Depends on which end you're on.
Whoa!
Look out.
On that note,
This has been Crimson Comet, episode 15. Join us next week as we discuss The Flash, season 1, episode 13, Fallout. Until then, I'm Haley.
I'm Lobster.
and I'm Rum Daddy.
And I'm Adam.
And I'm Jay.
Good night, John Boy.
Bye.
Bye, everyone. The party is over. No, it's just beginning.
Thanks for listening. If you want to leave us feedback, you can find all of our contact information at crimsoncomet.com. Find us on Twitter at Crimson Podcast or Facebook at facebook.com/Crimson Comet Podcast. Leave us a voicemail at 423-FLASH53. That's 423-352-7453. The opinions heard on this podcast are those of the individual host and do not represent GonnaGeek. The podcast is not affiliated with DC Comics, Warner Brothers, or the CW. No infringement is intended. The music heard is by Kevin MacLeod of Incompetech.com.
Did we forget to tell both of you that this is
An explicit cast.
Yeah, explicit cast.
Oh, no, I'm aware.
They've heard the show.
All making me crazy and shit.
Making you? How many cocktails in are you? You got people to pick up at the airport still, right?
Yeah, but she's not coming in for like 2 hours or so.
We've got another, 20 minutes. I mean, he can get another one in before then.
Yeah, exactly. Girl, get off me, okay? I'm going to make myself another one because I'm almost done with this one.
I could make myself one.
Go make yourself one. We're still waiting for Lobster.
Really, ideally, we could record it this time every week, and I might actually get the podcast edited and out.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
exactly.
doubt that.
But
Dude, fuck you, Jay.
What's the current turnaround on an episode of GPR?
Well, yeah. Because you work with professionals. You see what I'm working with?
Hey, I'm a professional.
Professional what?
Asshole.
I got a little excited.
Don't worry, we're going to talk about that.
So we can't be on this for 2 hours because at 6:30 I got to go. Know what I'm saying, girl?
See, this is the kind of crap I have to do for making a podcast. Jay, who's probably not listening.
I'm listening.
You have a bad actor.
When you
doing
have
it.
a bad actor who's trying to act like a decent actor, being a douchey character, it all falls apart in the mix.
Yeah. Meanwhile, we're still waiting for Haley to get back from her secret mission. Silence falls over the theater.
I have nothing to say to you people.
I'm out. Drops mic.
Yeah, we're done. Yeah,
We're
that's
done.
it. Podcast
Thank you.
over.
Podcast over. Thank you for
She comes
listening
back.
to Crimson
She comes
Chrome.
back. We're just all signed off.
Crimson Comet.
Crimson
Crimson Chrome is a show that I used to work on that I got let
No,
go.
Cuban
no, Cuban Chrome.
Oh, there we go.